but it's got a lot of bad crap in it. So I think your coffee's probably
Stinks
less
too.
less the
Smells,
sugar,
ugh,
less the
I don't
sugar.
like it.
Okay, kids, we will get started. Okay, my topic this morning is what's working in real estate. Like, what are you doing? Because Tony, you've been kicking butt, taking names. Sandy, you've capped. My real estate just picked up all of a sudden. I'm feeling pretty good about it. What are you guys doing? What's generating business for you right now? Has it been planting seeds up to this point? What have you been doing?
It was the seeds. Just months and months ago, the house that I sold in Butler came from a referral, but then the people that bought it were my clients, and I had started talking to them at the couple of months into the Awana year last year for church, and then I have their house on the market now as well in Belton. But it's just systematic seeds, like you say, and then just keep following up and talking and whatever. I'm going to go. I have a listing appointment on Monday from folks that I've been talking to for a while, and so we're going to put their house, Lord willing, on the market in Blue Springs. So it's just seeds planted and
Mm-hmm.
starting to come up fruition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the past, that's ultimately I've worked on things for years by planting those seeds, making those coffee dates, meeting with folks and watching their Facebook and trying to chime in where I could intentionally. And I mean it. I'm not just doing it for the sale of it, but that's definitely looming in the back of it a little bit. Um, but yeah, that's been my approach since I started. And then Nate, I think you told me years and years ago that, you've got to be thinking 90 days out. You can't be just thinking about tomorrow. You can't be thinking about the current deals that you're doing right now. You need to be forward thinking.
Yeah, we are the visionaries of our own business, and we got to start making decisions that line up with where you want to be in 90 days for sure. So,
How about you, Trisha? You're doing great.
Well, I missed your question because I didn't do so great. I got on 5 minutes late.
Well, that's because of Juju Bell or Juju. How do you say your name?
Just Anthony also had a Zoom call, so I had to run him out with his.
That's okay. We're talking about like what's working in real estate right now. Like, what are you doing that's actually like generating business that's working for you right now? Anthony, or I'm sorry, Tony's also probably Anthony, was, planting seeds. Like that's, intentional being, making for sure that you're reaching out and planting those seeds for folks. What's working for you?
I think currently, trying to just go back and find some people that were kind of maybe hesitant in the spring because they felt that there was a lot of competition and that might not work for them. So going back and going, hey, spring is come and gone. Kids are back in school. Things are a little different. This market might be better for you and how you want to move. I think I had a couple of clients that felt like they had to be in a hurry in the spring. And so kind of trying to offer them that maybe this is a little bit of a slower time and that could be an advantage for them. So that's kind of what I worked on quite a bit yesterday. But also I have been doing like Tony and trying to, I had a coffee date yesterday and just trying to be sure that I'm connecting with people.
Oh, that's good. I mean, clearly it's paying off for you. Tom, I watch you and I know you found kind of your new niche. What are you doing?
Um, I feel trying to talk to as many people as I can about real estate, and that's it. And then when I'm done with that conversation, I feel like in a lot of cases, almost every conversation's an audition, right? So we're auditioning for maybe a job in the future. And to be able to do that and come across as genuine is the balance that we play, right? So, yeah, with me, I kind of decided to focus on one particular segment of the population, and I could probably do more business I was focused on, others and just that. But at my stage of life, it's perfect. And there's plenty of sellers, I'm going to say, in that group, in that age group of people. So I would say that this year, 75% of our stuff has been listings, right? And and I love it, right? Uh, so yeah, but I think most importantly is not expecting those immediate results like you might get from a mailer, or you might, get from, or buying a lead. I'm not looking for those immediate results, but if I talk to the same amount of, if I talk to a lot of people about real estate and I do that on a consistent basis, and when I leave the conversation, they think, oh, Tom O'Connor, the realtor, right? Or Tom O'Connor, the guy that can help my mom move into Carnegie Village, right? So that's kind of what Carrie and I have done. And so in I feel Carrie just mentioned the other day, we got momentum. We need to keep it. We need to keep it. And it's like, I don't know, I might be too old for this shit. So and I was having a conversation with an agent in the office the other day. Is like, I feel like the segment of business that I'm aiming for, I could have a huge business. I'm just going to be honest with this group. I'm not that motivated, right? I'm not that motivated anymore. So, but I would love to talk to other people about what I'm doing, because I think it is a great opportunity for somebody who is motivated and does want to do the marketing and does want to follow up on all the leads. So anyway, that's what I have.
I have something for you, Tom. I
Uh-huh.
feel, yeah, I'm your age. We're old people, but
Yeah.
we're not done yet, though. I feel like there's a whole nother segment right now for us. Like we ran into it at our age, which is AI. How are we going to make that work for us? So that's where I'm headed. I actually signed up for Tom Ferry's coaching because well, I referred an agent to uh, a Colorado listing there, and she told me that she currently has 30 listings, and it's all because of her coaching with Tom Ferry. And I'm like, ooh, now is she going to tell me everything that she's paying $1,500 a month for? No. So I decided to pour into it myself. And I'm just going to get out of my own old way and get out of my old mindset, and I'm going to go, and no one's going to stop me. I'm on it.
Good for you.
Way to
And
go,
I think
Sandy.
you should do that too, Tom. You can make your business work with AI. Anyway, I'm just going to plug into it and see what happens.
If I can get AI to talk and deal with the complaints, I'd be all down with that.
Oh,
If AI
well.
can take the phone call
Well,
when
they
things don't
can.
go well.
Rustalyn knows that, but there are ways that, see, that's me. I'm in my own way. I will not hand over anything. And I've spent this last 14 years not handing over anything, which is really stupid if you sit down and put it on paper. Like an admin can add 30 more deals to your life. So why didn't I get an admin? Because I think no one else can do it. Well, that's wrong. I know they can.
That's you
So
being
I think
your
I'm
own
in
way.
my own way.
Yeah. A lot of us are that way. I couldn't do
Mhm.
half of what I did without help. So, like, you got to have an amazing team behind you. Well, between the two of you, like, you got to choose your hard, right? That's where you guys are at. So you're picking your new path and trying to get a opening up your mind and trying a different way. I love that. That's awesome.
Mhm.
And then Tom, I've watched you develop over time of, you picked this new niche and it's really working out for you. And I love it. I watched you in action the other day. I was like, look at him go.
Yeah.
Love that.
I
Um,
think Tom should teach something or someone else how to do what he's doing so he can step away but still make good money.
You're
there we
talking
go.
my language now.
That's called work smart, not too hard.
Yes.
I work on that plan of action every day. Trying to figure that
I
whole
never did, but I'm on it now.
good
I'm
for
running
you.
out of time.
Good for yeah. No. But it is getting
Yeah.
a little shorter. Well,
Yeah.
let's switch that up so we know, AI, right? We're all trying to get into that realm. But what did what used to work for you, but it does not now? Lonnie, I'm going to direct that one to you. You've been in this game for a real long time. What used to work for you, but is not working for you now to
Wow.
generate business?
Yeah, I mean, I used to do the obviously open houses and stuff, and I think that would still work. I just choose to go down a different path. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I could say there's anything that just doesn't work anymore. But for us, it's, if you would have told me I'll be 61 in October, if you would have told me we would be at where we're at and I would still be wanting to grind and enjoying it, I'd say you're full of shit. But
I
I'm
would
I'm
too.
I'm geeking out right now. I'm enjoying the business. I love the energy in our office and so many amazing relationships. And I think that's the key factor is that keeps me kind of pumping and going. And I mean, two different agents while I was in LA, I was helping them with problems and it looks like we solved them. And that kind of gets me more excited than a listing call these days. Um, but we've done a really good job at the top of our database and our key people, and not just wishing them happy birthday, on Facebook, but going deeper and asking open-ended questions that creates dialogue. Dialogue's the key. It takes an extra 45 seconds, but if you'll just create dialogue, ask open questions, it's amazing the back and forth. I had a client that I had orphaned for like 8 years, and I just realized it the other day, and I'm like, when is the last time I talked to them? So I text them and I go, hey, there's a house on your street for sale. What do you know about it? And all the next thing I know, for 2 days, we were going back and forth. So it's like they're back in my world again. So I'm focused on that kind of stuff. That's important to me going forward. It's not about the numbers anymore. I mean, I don't see us really pushing hard enough to ever do what we did back when Nate and I would work till 7 o'clock at night every night. But that's okay. It's still winning. Like Tom said, I don't need to set the world on fire. I just want to have a great time and do some fun things. But for me, I want to see people grow. The market, I will say this, the market right now is hard. This is a hard market. So give yourself grace. It is hard. And Shelby messages me, and I'm so excited for her. And she's just so sweet. And she's like, I got 2 more listings coming. You have no idea how good that is. This is a tough market, and we're probably going to see the Fed raise rates. So get ready for that. That's all, but the writing's on the wall there. Opposite of what we were expecting. But anyway, I went down a different tangent. But for me, Rusty, it's just getting, it's always staying in relationship with people and pressing those relationships and checking in on the people and things like that.
Yeah, agreed. And speaking of dialogue, moving forward into this, this next quarter and stuff, like that'll give you guys something to talk about is our fall thing coming up on October 3rd. That'll give you a topic to start engaging with your clients and reaching out to them, to invite them to our client appreciation event. So use that word dialogue and start getting on the horn and reaching out to your people.
Yeah, it's 6 weeks away. I mean, these things
Yeah.
sneak up on us, and our agents that will leverage that. Yeah, I don't care if you get 2 people there, but invite 50. That's the whole key. The value is in the invitation. The value is them thinking, wow, Rustalyn thinks enough of us to invite us to this cool thing. We're busy and we wouldn't go to it anyway. That's not our scene, whatever. But the value is in the invite. And we just have to get our mind around that. And I hope our agents will create a list of people they're going to invite and not be so attached to how many people show up, but just really engage that invite piece of that.
Yeah, I would say I'd utilize today and tomorrow to get your invite out and then just challenge yourself to, by next Friday, to have all of your invites sent out because people need enough time to plan. This is a busy time of year for a lot of people, depending on who your demographics is, back to school and all the things, football games, whatever, college. Yeah, that would be a good challenge for everybody to make for sure by next Friday you get all of those invites out for that client event. Um, okay, so thank you for that, Lonnie. What in real estate here, like what are your buyers pushing back on the most? And I will start off with I have a buyer that was referred to me and new home, first time homeowner. And her list, I think I've done this to Ryan before with my brother. Her list was this long on all the things that she wants for the resolutions. And I told her what the response is going to be. And you all know I got the exact same, go buy a brand new house if you don't want all of these problems, right?
Yeah.
The writing's in the book. We've all dealt with that. So now I'm going to handle that. I'd already told her what was going to happen. I'm going to tell her now, pick her first 5 things or you're probably not going to get the house. So I think while some will say it's a buyer's market, some will say it's seller's market. I think it really just depends on the property too. What are you guys getting the most pushback on right now?
I think Brandy's slide. Oh, you can go ahead. I think Brandy's slide that she did where sellers think we're in, what was it?
Yeah.
20, whatever.
Good.
So yeah, they're all in the wrong markets, buyers and sellers. So it's our job then to educate them. But then again, we also have to know what ChatGPT is telling them because most people are on there asking those things. And I think sometimes ChatGPT doesn't give the true hyper local market stats,
Correct.
so I think we have to go over that kind of stuff with them too. And if they lose the house, they lose the house. They may not, want to go that route. The next one, I guess, is what we have to do.
Yeah, I felt like in my situation, like I had to show her, I already told her what was the answer was going to be and all the things. And then I told the agent, we'll team up on this and work together to get us to the closing table. But, I had to do what my client wanted me to. So now I'll take it back to my client, review everything, get the top 5 things. So when she meets with her client next, hopefully we can come to a solution. But Ryan, what's working? Like what kind of pushback are you getting with your folks these days?
Yeah, so there's always going to be pushback in any market. It's just going to be on what
Sure.
side it is. But if we're talking about the buyers right now, I think like setting expectations to prevent that. I'll speak from a perspective of being on the listing side. We had a buyer's agent, great agent, and brought us an offer, and like, hey, we're in multiple offer situations. They were gung ho for the house, and they put a great offer together and sent it to us. And like, hey, we're just going to look at the septic systems. The only thing we want to look at. I'm like, oh, fantastic. So we take their offer. Well, we didn't do it as is. I'm like, that's fine. You'll take you at your word. I know you. I trust you. And so I get it. And then I get the inspection notice along with the resolution items. And there's 15 with subsets within the 15. So I think we worked out to about 21 different things. And so I called and I was like, hey, what's going on? I noticed there's some things here. We didn't really talk about this. I said, what's going on? Is the house not what they wanted? Do they have cold feet? And she's like, no. They just found more than what they thought they would or anything like that. And I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. But I learned a lesson there to get every damn thing in writing. Even if you do know the agent is a really important thing. And that's part of what we do is contract work. And that's on me. And so I made a mistake there. However, but it's a great agent co-oping together and worked out the finer details like, hey, let's get down to the bare bones of what it is that they're really looking for. And we complied and fixed a couple things, but I think we left like, I don't know, 17 or 18 on the table. We just weren't going to do. And we got it. We're getting it done. We're getting wrapped up and should close next week. So I think setting expectations, and then what I didn't do, I was a little bit too trusting. Because I felt comfortable. And when you get comfortable, that's when you get freaking sideswiped. So don't do that. All right. Get your contracts in order so it will work right. And that way you don't have a problem, especially when you're in a multiple offer situation. Should I had to gone back to the market, I probably would have lost all that overage that I gained for my client going back to the market later. We wouldn't have been in multiple offers. And so we had to weigh out that aspect too, as we were negotiating, because we were on what Lonnie calls house money at that time. And we got to play with that. So we did just a little bit, buffered it, and got it done. So again, I'll go back to set expectations up front and be really good with your contract work. Be detailed with it.
Yeah.
I also think that buyers are bluffing a little bit. Like they're coming in real hard and low and They're doing, and you get them where you want them in price, and then they do inspections and they come in real hard and with all these things. And then you just have to keep reeling them, back into here's what we will do. That's what I'm finding.
Yeah, I second that. Definitely.
You got to call their bluff. Definitely. Good call, Sandy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you guys ever felt like the agent on the other end is like, I have multiple, I have a couple, I have another offer on the table, super close to yours. I so badly just want to be like, let me see it. I want to see the other offer because sometimes I don't feel like they're honestly telling the truth, but that's the game you play, right? Like that's part of this deal.
Way I explain that to people because buyers will ask that too. Do you really think they have another offer on the table? Well, what I say is we all take the code of ethics, and I would like to think that all agents would abide by that and not tell us there's another offer when there isn't. So that's the way I'd like to move on this is to say, yeah, I think there is another offer on the table.
It's like a poker game.
Yeah,
I think
you've been on the market.
You've
been on the market for 100 days, and now all of a sudden you have multiple offers. I get it.
Actually, that does happen.
It does happen. Yeah.
That does happen.
But you're right.
I think we also have to keep in mind, we have interest in the property. I'll hear that a lot, or we have an offer coming in or in hand. I know as a listing agent, I get all kinds of crazy offers on shit right out of the gate. There's this one guy that always sends the owner finance thing where they pump the price 40,000. They're going to put 10% down. You carry the note, all the shit we're never going to do. In theory, that's an offer. So if Rusty goes, "Hey, Lonnie, got any interest in your new listing?" I'm like, "Well, just so happens we do have an offer. What do you got for me, Rusty?" Yeah. I'm not lying, but that's one we're never going to deal with, right?
Yeah.
You got the cash investor guys that throw their ridiculous offers. So not all offers are created equal. And although they may be offers, are they really? So I think we may want to ask questions. Hey, tell me more about that. Tell me about that offer. Well, it's contingent on a house at Lake of those Arcs that isn't going to be on the market for 2 months. Okay, then you really don't have an offer. You have something you're never going to take. So anyway, just something to keep in mind.
They'll also say things like, we are trying to negotiate a little bit with them. Like you already know the prices are low. So it's probably just what Lonnie was talking about, one of those.
Ask the question, let them speak, and you stay quiet. There's a lot that will come out if you can just keep your mouth shut.
Yep.
Jake, what what deal have you had like recently that almost fell apart, and what did you do to save it?
My deals don't fall apart because I do all the prep work like Lonnie told me to.
I love it.
No. Oh, geez. I don't know the last one that about fell apart. Let's see here. I had an interesting listing appointment yesterday. They're wanting 1.1 on a house that I think is worth about $850 at the max. But you're jinxing me now. I don't remember the last time one of my deals has been kind of sideways.
Well, that's a good thing for you.
I'm not doing enough business, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, Rusty, I'll kind of chime in. I think when we get those resolutions, and like I said, especially maybe from the listing side, because when we're having these appointments, that's one of the things that we're saying. Yeah, I'm worth 3. Yeah, you got another person that'll do it for 2.5. Well, I'm worth 3, and let me tell you why. Because when we run across these situations, I'm going to be there to help you, not to keep as much money in your pocket as possible. I had one of those, my listing in Blue Springs, we had it listed as is. They did the inspection. They sent back roof, furnace, foundation, and a whole bunch of stuff on it. And my response back to them was, this is not going to work. That was it. Boom. And then all of a sudden the response back, not even the roof. I said, you send me over a resolution with just the roof on it. I'll see what I can do. And that's exactly what we got. And I'd already prepped the seller that the roof could be uninsurable. We may have to do something with it. So yeah, It's that easy. So, I mean, I think that's what kind of separates us at Southland is because we kind of understand the game, right? Just because somebody asks for it doesn't mean that we have to give it to them, right? Also, got to remember there's a person that wants to sell the house. We got a person that wants to buy the house, and we have two agents that want to get paid, right? So, communication is key. And if we're good at what we do, we can always work it out in most cases.
It's definitely a game, and whoever plays it best wins. Yeah.
My last one fell apart due to financing. And against better judgment, I took the only offer I had at hand, and it wasn't with a lender I would have chose. But I called them and vetted it as the best I could without pulling the data myself and looking at it. But so everything's good. These buyers are great. And oh, by the way, 3 days before closing, because I was seeing if the disclosures were signed and everything, they were asking for a pay stub. So I'm like, oh, brother. So yeah, it fell apart. And the lender would never talk to me. So,
red flag.
yep. I'll never take another one with USAA for that reason. That's who it was. And I've banked with them before.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
love their veterans so much that they let them lose their house. So
yeah,
anyway,
US Bank is right up there on one of my never going to work with again.
never.
Get me to the closing table day of and then pull it out.
And the buyer was so hip on him. He's like, well, I don't want to go to another lender because they're saying I can't purchase. He trusted him still, even though he went all the way to 3 days before closing and couldn't buy the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
We just had a Navy credit union deal that we were doing in-house with Mandy. Mandy was smart, wrote a great offer, snagged the house day one, and 60-day escrow, all kinds of times. Well, Navy credit union they're not great. They're slow. And about 2 weeks before closing, Mandy calls me and she goes, hey, we have a problem. And I'm like, wow, I'm not surprised by this. And she goes, I told my buyer they're pre-approved in 2 places. They picked Navy. You guys obviously knew that, but I'm thinking about pivoting them to the other lender. And I go, can we get it closed on time? She goes, if not, it'll be awful close, but I know we have a deal. And I'm like, let's switch it. So yeah, it's just when you have a gut feeling it from the get-go, it's amazing how many times those play out.
Yeah, I knew better.
Yeah, if I can't reach out to a lender in the first couple of calls, then to me, they're no bueno.
Well, the thing about my USAA person is they all answered at the beginning when I was trying to vet them and all that. And then at the end, though, I still haven't ever talked to them. And I felt like keeping the earnest money, because they wouldn't tell me what happened. I thought, well, how do we know the financing fell through? No one's ever given me anything in writing. It's all a verbal thing from the buyer agent. So anyway, I thought, okay, let it go. Less headache, and just went back to market. But here we sit still too. So I do need help selling that. It's in Belton on Summer Dawn Circle. And they're often offering $7,500 in closing cost. We do believe it'll appraise for more than what we're listed for, and they could add some money on the top, like $7,000, and he will then give them $14,500 back so they can buy down points or whatever they need to, because we are in competition with the new construction behind us, and they're doing all that.
That was good.
So,
old Chris Bradley, haven't seen you for a little bit, sister.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you got going on in your world? Have you had a deal that that you recently had that almost fell apart? And what'd you do to save it, my friend? I know you have some stories. Chris got it.
she hears
Well, turkeys. Alex, what about you, my friend?
Good morning, everyone. I guess the most recent one was with my client. after inspections, he came out with a list of stuff that needed to get done or he wanted repair. So since the beginning, the agent, she's like, no, they're not going to fix anything. Like she was the owner, right? I said, well, ask them, see what they say before I, do the official paperwork. So she came back with like, no, we have a backup offer. They decided to go with it. And that was it. Send the cancellation, which I did. So I noticed that they took the house off the market for a few days. They repaired a bunch of stuff, put it back in the market, which means they didn't have a backup offer, and they end up selling it with for less money than what my client would have paid for it. I mean, now it's on the contract; it says the MLS. But on the good side is my client decided to buy another house, which was more money than what he was willing to pay for this. So on a way, it was good for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good for them or I mean, but they like the house. So we're supposed to close tomorrow, but the appraisal came in late to the underwriter and blah blah blah. So now we have to push it till Monday, which they kind of down. But I said, look, it's just a couple of days. I'm sorry. Maybe you wanted to use the weekend to move in or whatever, but I would say that was the most recent one. And in regards to your question at the beginning, sorry I couldn't jump in right away. I'm grateful for Brennington. She gave me a referral that I'm working with right now, and we're gonna put the house in the market next week. And at the same time, a friend of mine who I've been attending a men's group with them for a couple of years now. I'm the youngest one there. I'm 58. Imagine the oldest one. So he moved to Mitchell, South Dakota, for mothers-in-law health reason. So he called me last Friday that I didn't know he was here. So I was looking for you at the group. I said, I'm sorry, I had to go see a client. Said, I want you to sell my house. I said, okay. I didn't know you were moving, but it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's good. So I got that deal going to probably in a couple of weeks. And then I got another client who's in the Bahamas right now because they're kind of a new couple and they want to buy a duplex, but duplex has to be empty. So most duplex are occupied right now. Tenants don't want to move. So it's been kind of hard. So we've been looking for homes for duplexes for almost a month and a half now. So they were getting too stressed. So they're like, oh, we're going to Bahamas for just to unwind, for a little. I said, okay, if you can afford it, if you can do it, which they do. So I'm waiting for them to come back. So that to answer your question, what is doing for me first, what is being good for me or what I'm doing is just to stay in the game. I know I can do this. Unfortunately, I still have a job, which I really like what I do, and I get paid pretty good, to be honest. So it's kind of hard for me to let it go. If I can, milk it for a little bit more, I will. But I'm still, trying to do this because I know this has a lot more benefits. Um, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a rich person, but I think I'm in a stage of life where my kids are older now. They have their own homes and their own lives. It's just my wife and my 4 dogs, here now. And it's not that I don't have the motivation to do this. It's just that I started doing this since the beginning to help people that I know they can afford buy a house, but they don't know how. And especially in the Hispanic community, it's a lot of lack of knowledge. So, and then the language barrier, I'm always working with the lender because I have Hispanic or bilingual lenders, but a lot of times they cannot help them. So I end up going to Fairway with John Markman, and he helps me a lot too. So that's what I do. But sorry, I'm waiting.
I love it. Is there anything that any of us can do to help you? I think if you focused on that niche for the Hispanic community, have you considered, and maybe you already have, like holding events or classes and bringing in lenders and just to educate them? I mean, that would be your seed planting.
Yeah, I would like to do that. And again, going back to the work part, because of my job, I travel a lot. I got to go to places and put fires off, and I mean, I have an office, but I don't know when I'm going to be there. So,
What about Saturdays?
I can do that most Saturdays. because I'm also kind of my wife and I counselors, so we work with couples as well, which they all know we are realtors. Well, I'm a realtor, and that's how this couple that is in the Bahamas right now came with us because they knew. And yeah, I've been offered, thank you for the offering. I've been offered for several of the agents at the office that they could help me out. And I mean, I'm still planning. I would like to do that. I go to events, like I go to the Grandview uh, Chamber of Commerce events and stuff like that. I met Nanette the other day there. I go also on the Kansas side, a lot of events with the Hispanic community. So I'm just putting my name out there. I think that's how these deals are coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And the referrals, like in this case by Brannigan, she's really nice and I'm thankful. So, but yeah, if I come up with anything, I'll let you guys know. But
Yeah.
really appreciate all the help. Like I met with Ryan the other day. He helped me out because I've done only one listing, but I already forgot. It's been a while ago. So then I got these two coming up, and I need a refresher course. What's it called? Crash course, and he did.
Yeah.
He helped me a lot. And
Good.
thank you for all the support you guys give me.
Good. Well, we all want to see you succeed. So, and like that's the point of obviously these masterminds. Like we're all trying to learn from each other. That's why I'm asking the questions I'm asking today because it's helpful and you guys can use, what works for some people and doesn't work for others, or what are people doing today in this market and all the things. So, thank you very much for sharing. And yes, we are all here for you. If you want to brainstorm and we can all help you put together one of those events to support you.
Yeah, and I understand, so that's how we feel. And for example, this client right now that I'm working with, that we're closing on Monday, they own restaurants. They have money. They just don't know how to manage their money. And when they're going through the process of the loan, it's hard for them to qualify. That's why it's been like 3 years. They tried to buy a house, but they just gave up because they weren't getting the support or the
Well, yeah,
help.
and
So
that comes from a lot of people. We don't have that knowledge from our parents, right? They didn't do those things. That things are much different now. It was if you could buy, you bought, and you stayed in that same house for 50 years, right? You never moved, all the things. So it is, I think, 100% lack of knowledge. So, but that's what you can use for your strategy is schooling people, and then they'll remember that Alex is the one that helped me, that pushed you in the right direction and gave them that knowledge.
And I'm honest with them. When they ask a question and I don't know the answer, I say, you know what? I don't know all the answers, but I'll find you one. That's when I come to you guys and I ask questions. And
You
I
say,
go
let
back.
me ask my team.
Yeah, I say, and I check with with one of my co-agents, and they told me that we could do this. And they're like, oh, okay. So they know that I'm not pretending to know everything because I don't. And I think they like that. They like honesty. Someone was speaking about honesty. Ryan and I talked about it the other day. This agent with the other house that I just told you that she wasn't honest, saying, "Well, let's see what they can do or whatever." She just came back with we have a backup offer, which they didn't. And I mean, to me, that's lying, right? So I don't think we can do that or we should do that.
They're not all
We don't do
television.
that.
All right. So thank you guys. I really appreciate being a Southland.
Good. We love having you.
Thank you.
Shelby, I'm going to pull you out. You ready to play?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How is everybody?
Fabulous.
Good.
In the market we're in today, where do you feel like you're wasting time?
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Let me think on this one.
That's
Oh, it
okay.
doesn't matter. Just throw them in there. Wasting time. I do have some wishy-washy folks right now. So like I got everything scheduled and then had to reschedule, and now I'm like questioning like spending all this money on photography and stuff because they've been so wishy-washy. And so that kind of freaks me out. To all that effort and all that work, and I've been burnt. Last Monday I lost like 2 deals was like 800,000 because they decided not to sell. And then, but this Monday I listed 2 listings that I had been working with heavily. So it's just you win some, you lose some weeks, but definitely following up with people and just staying in their world, trying to do nice things for other people. I like to buy gifts for people and pop buys. So that's kind of what I do. I don't like to call people. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but I don't. So I'd rather just show up at their house with presents. So
I would love you for my realtor. That's awesome. Shelby, I might need to buy something.
We can do that. I'm pretty good at it
I'd
because I
say
pay
so.
attention to what people like. So I think that pays off for the most part. But yeah, sorry, that's all I got.
No, that's okay. I think that's a really good discussion. How do you guys handle that with photography? You know, all the money that we spend up front with some marketing and things like that. How do you handle that? And I'm going to say it this way, like, you know, you might have someone that might be a little bit flaky, or maybe you've listed before and then they're like, hey, I'm not going below this price. And it's like, man, I'm spending $200 on photography. And you know that this probably is not maybe going to work out. And before you say, well, then just say you're not a good fit. We don't always, or we're not always in that position to do so, right? So we might just be blowing that $200. Do you guys write that into your contract that, hey, you're going to be crediting me back if you cancel, or what?
Um,
I tried that and got burned, so I took it back out.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
So
You know, I've considered it. There's just Shelby mentioned. It's just a business decision if you want to do that. It's logical, right? But especially if things are breaking up for bad pretenses, you know, the people, if they rip you on social media, whatever you thought you made and recovering your photography money is not a good trade-off. Just my 2 cents. But I will say this. I think especially in the market right now, we've got to assess every listing that we take has a probability of getting paid. And now we don't know that exact number, but we have a gut feeling. And if we're going to go take like some of the luxury listings that people are taking, they're so excited on, then they realize, wow, this is a lot of work. The traffic patterns are low. The maintenance from the people is high. We've got to be able to navigate these waters, but every listing has a probability. Go list a 325 Raymore house, unless it's a piece of crap, you probably got an upper 90 percentile chance of it closing, right? You have to burn down for all practical purposes. But take something unique and it's in a rural area, and that it just constantly changes. So as a business owner, you have to weigh out, where am I going to put my resources, my energy, and those things. And there could be situations where you just say, this is maybe not one for me. And don't be ashamed to do that. We tend to, when we're slower, we tend to take about anything that we think might stick. When we're really busy, we are a little more apt to say, yeah, let's go ahead and let that go to the next guy.
I 100% agree with that, Lonnie. I got a listing appointment today that I've already been on a couple of times. I got 2 brothers who own a 40-acre piece of land. Neither they can't. One wants way too much money. The other's willing to sell it at the suggested price. So now they've decided to divide it into 2 20-acre pieces. And so we're just going to sell the one. But the deal is that I got to take in consideration is I'm probably going to spend several $100s or more on a sign for that property, right? So we went ahead. I did go ahead and put in the listing agreement that they would be responsible for the cost of that sign. So I'm going to see how that works. And I'm also going to charge an extra percent to sell it because it's going to be a hard piece of property to sell. And at the end of the day, if they don't like those terms, I'm 100% willing to walk away. So
love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I like that idea too, because I feel like if you know their motivation and the motivation seems shaky, then most likely your gut's telling you they're probably going to end up canceling the listing or whatever. Why not make them pay or ask them to pay in the contract for the photos? That might change their mind on, okay, yeah, we're not as motivated as we thought we were, you know?
Right.
I think that's a great idea. They used to do that back 10 years ago, didn't they? I remember seeing Remax used to charge $8.50 to cancel.
Yeah, I have gotten my photography money back on a cancellation before, but other than that, I've only had a couple of cancellations. I got photography money back on one of them though. So
I think Jake has a great script on that, on how to navigate those waters instead of getting your fees back. What do you do, Jake?
Full disclosure, I was just on a call. I think this is still talking about the getting the fees back for the photography.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's no problem. Just send me over a referral and we'll be even.
That is good.
You call me at 9 o'clock at night, that's no problem. Just send me over a referral. It's no big deal. Any inconvenience is repayable by a referral. Because then they have a good taste in your mouth, and then you get a $10,000 commission instead of $500 worth of photography.
Mm-hmm.
And when they go back to sell it again, eventually, I mean, it's still, I think it just keeps a good taste in their mouth. Like, oh, he was so easy to work with. But
Good. My very last thing, and then we'll kind of open it up. So from now until next mastermind, what is it that you're going to do, like the one thing that you'll do differently between now and then? And I think I just learned what mine was. I had been pondering this and thinking about this, but I'm definitely going to be reaching out to especially some of my most recent people to get Google reviews, right? And then I'm going to start using that, Jake.
Mm-hmm, me too.
Send me a referral. All's forgiven.
It's
works every
perfect.
time.
Really.
It is perfect. It's just there's zero thought. It just flows off your tongue. I love it. What about you, Trisha? What's the one thing from now until next mastermind you're going to do differently?
I've been pondering putting together some kind of small event that allows me an opportunity to maybe offer something to clients, but also offer something to people who aren't clients because I always need new ones. So I have two possible ideas I've been working on, but one of them is that I had a closing yesterday with a couple that is in their upper 20s, which is great because in 7 years they're probably going to move again. So I'm quite okay to labor through with some of these first-time home buyers, and this is the age of my kids, and that's why they're kind of coming around. So I sent them a text while we were talking and telling them, hey, so fun to work with you. In 6 weeks, I want to throw you an open house. So I want to throw them an open house welcome party in their own home because they're going to invite their friends. And that gives me a chance to go, I'm now standing with 30 couples in their late 20s who those are home buyer ages. And they get excited to see that, oh, it's possible. You bought a home and you bought a home. So I just messaged them. So I'm going to throw them a housewarming party in their own home so they can invite all the people I want to meet that I don't know.
I think that's a
I
great
think
idea.
there's something in one of these that somebody's already done the playbook, you know. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I don't know why sideways it works. I don't know. It's the playbooks. I bet there's something in there, Trisha, that the whole playbook for you. Because I've heard people do that before.
Yeah, I really think it'll be pretty simple. I mean, honestly, food, some drinks, banners, some giveaways, a drawing. We're in.
I did one a few years ago.
A sign-in sheet.
There you go.
Yeah,
I did one a few years ago, and I had the people give me the list of the people they wanted to invite with their emails and phone numbers, and then our lender and Adam Andrews, he passed away, but he had his assistant invite the people, and we had about half of the ones we invited show up, and I didn't stay the whole time. We kind of just congratulated them. It was a pool party, so it was kind of fun. And we stayed for about half the party, then let them enjoy the time with their friends. And the lender paid for half the food. But in 6 weeks, we also have the thing in Pleasant Hill for the office, which you can invite your clients to that for $15 each. So
Yeah.
we need to save the date out on that probably.
It is. It's out there.
Oh, cool.
Yep, it's October 3rd. Stephanie posted it yesterday.
Awesome.
So,
Okay, that's why I didn't see it yet. So
yeah, I think
cool.
You're not on Facebook all day every day.
Well, I knew when the date was. I just hadn't seen anything to share with
Yeah.
people yet. So
Yeah, you can use that flyer and do so. So
cool.
for any of those that missed that, like that was kind of our challenge from get your list ready today and then next week, make for sure you get those invites out because like it's the least expensive way to have a client appreciation for your pocketbook for sure.
Can I share something?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this was a huge win and I'm pretty excited about it. So my closing yesterday, I knew that the deal on my side, even though my contract was at 3%, it was one of these flip deals, wait 90 days. I knew that they were only paying 2.5. They told me up front. My clients were friends of my children and I didn't really waver it. But I did tell them in the midst of the conversation, hey, when you go and tell all your friends about your amazing realtor, you need to tell them I work for 3%, not 2.5, because I don't want that to get out there. And we closed yesterday, and then last night they had a couple of people over and included my husband and I, which was really cool, to show them their house. And it was mostly our kids and their friends. So when I left, they handed me a thank you card. And when I got home, I opened it and it said in there, you are the Louis Vuitton of realtors, and Louis Vuitton never takes a discount. And they wrote me a check for the difference that my 3% would have been. So I'm just encouraging you guys. I was super stoked. I'm like, I love that. But only that, it also gave me a new verbiage when people talk to us about why we don't take less. When you're Louis Vuitton in real estate, Louis Vuitton doesn't take a discount. And I'm like, I now know how to battle this when people ask me your commission. And now I know I'm sticking at my 3% because I'm going to serve you at the level of expertise of companies that don't take discounts. You don't ever get Louis Vuitton on sale.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I've always used the line when people go, and I lead off with my commission because I don't want to have the conversation down the road. And, it's like, well, we've heard somebody who just, ChatGPT says there's people doing it 2 and 2.5. And I just let them know, hey, I'm selling a different widget. Okay. This is, Honda Accord versus Cadillac. We're selling a different widget as a different service. And that's why I charge what I charge. And if our track record and my office's track record, if those things look like they're going to play to your advantage, I can assure you I'm worth one heck of a lot more than 0.5% versus the typical agent that's out there. That'll show up in negotiations at the time of contract. That'll show up in resolution things. That'll show up if a real problem arises. And 0.5% can go up like a fart in the wind.
Yeah, if you're willing to work.
Fart in the wind comment optional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can blow back in your face.
I check the windage.
I had a buyer commission win last night. This morning, we submitted an offer. The house listed at 317. My buyer can't go above 3. It's only been on the market a week and a half, but we threw it out there. They countered, saying that only offering 2.5. And I was really beating myself up about the conversation with it. So I'm like, well, my buyer can't go up in price. They're not willing to do 3, whatever. So I was preparing to accept 2.5. And I was like, let me just ask him. So I threw it out to him. I told my buyer, I said, hey, they're only willing to cover 2.5. You can't go up in price, but I know you've got a decent amount saved. It's a $1,500 difference. Are you willing to pay that and to buy this house? And he said he was more than happy to. He thought that was great. He's stoked. He's 17,000 under list, and he's just got to pay an extra $1,500 out of pocket. He really saw that as a win and was happy to pay me. But I was scared to ask for it, but he was all for it. So we're going under contract this morning on it. And yeah, get my full 3%. So that's exciting.
You listen to your dad.
Well,
you listen to your dad. Thank you.
Well, I said that's what I was going to do, but I was struggling with it because in the past I've just accepted. Usually my clients don't have any money, so I just accepted the 2.5 to keep the deal together. But yeah, so that was clients with a little bit of cash are way more fun than these broke buyers I'm used to. But I've taken a couple listing L's this week, as the kids would say, and I'd like to get some advice. I just had one, Independence, a flip. The lot sucks. I've been trying to sell this thing for months. We just this past week, I was told it was a win last week. It's a loss this week. He said, get under contract by this day or we're taking it off the market and keeping it as a rental. We went under contract that day. They just canceled 2. So we had 3 buyers go under contract and cancel on this property. And now he's decided he wants to take it off and keep it as a rental. At this point, he's already losing money on it. And we determined they wanted to do a 2-month agreement initially. And I told them, if you do that and we get to that 2 months, it's $1,500. But so we did a longer agreement under the idea and under the impression that there wasn't going to be a fee. And now I still got to pay my TC because she did more work than she normally would on a deal. And I'm out. So I'll be about $700 or something out on this one. But I'm hoping to keep them as an investor client. So I've been trying to decide.
So what's the common denominator of why is everyone backing out?
The lot sucks. First one is sight unseen. The second one's my dad's fault. I was out of the country, so that's my dad's fault. And the third one, they cold feet. So
okay.
But the lot sucks. He bought a sight unseen. Half the lot's a drainage ditch. The house looks great. The house is nice. No complaints from really anybody on it, but everybody hates the lot. So he's taking that off the market. But I'm trying to figure out relationship going forward with other deals, and if it's worth trying to get anything out of this, or just eat the 700 and hope he uses me for his future deals.
Charge him extra next time.
Well, I think he owes you a referral.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Jake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's no problem. We had to cancel. Just send me a referral. Or 2. I feel like you deserve 2 on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well,
yeah,
and
for 3 months.
for 3 different contracts.
Yeah.
They just bought a different property without an agent.
Yeah, they're investors. They like to buy without agents, and then sell with an agent. So
Perfect. You can sell all of them for him.
Chris is wanting to say something.
Who, me?
It looked like you came off mute. I was like, you're alive.
Oh, no, I'm here. Yeah, no, sorry. I was on a call earlier.
You're fine.
No, I was laughing at Josh and
Oh.
Paul. Yeah. I'm like, I wish I had a Paul Fife to blame.
We can just blame Paul. I mean,
You can blame ours.
I think that's a good strategy.
I have a very quick question. How much do you guys charge on acreage percentage wise? Because I just have the wishy-washy client is 2 acres in Independence and 1 acre is flood. And so I don't know. It must be, I might be in the same boat as Josh. So, but would you guys charge 3 or 4 or 5? What should I do on that?
I think I've heard a lot of people say they just do a flat fee sometimes on.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, flat
I think when I first got in the business, it's been a long time ago, but people for any acreage, they were charging like 10%.
Yeah,
that was
Aaron say that too.
That was a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, I've got that lot over in front of the Dollar General on the S curve over in here in Raymore. And I've had that thing forever. And he's paying me 7%. So.
Yeah, I think the world is your oyster. You can really do whatever you want. But I know you're trying to get a consensus from everybody else. But I have.
What's your time worth? Ask what your time is worth, and then just charge a flat fee for that time. And that way, you're compensated properly, no matter what the overall sale price of the property is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Great question. Okay, guys, time check. We're at 11:02. I'm just going to leave you guys with this. Success in real estate isn't built on the days that we feel motivated. It's built on the days that you show up anyways. I hope you guys have a successful week and look forward to next Mastermind.
Great job, Rusty.
Thanks.
Thank
Rusty.
you.
Thanks, Rusty.
Good job. Thank you,
Bye,
Rusty.
everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.